But for somebody like who loves sports like that and loves listening to the podcast, watching sports, and they are entrepreneurial and they want to start a business. Like when I went to college, my first semester, I wanted to do sports marketing, but I feel like there aren't that many opportunities in the sports world. Like there's only so many professional sports teams with like marketing divisions. If somebody wants to be entrepreneurial and they're interested in sports, what opportunities do you think are there out in the world of sports for young business people, young entrepreneurs? What do you think?
So I think, so this is the biggest detriment to people in their own perspective of sports. Sports, as you know, is a multi-billion-dollar industry. It's not a job. There are, just like in any other industries, only a selected few, CEOs of Ford, CEOs of Chevy, CEOs of Hyundai. There's only a few of those jobs, but there's millions of jobs that sit below it. Right. And so what I tell people to do, if you want to work in the industry of sports, then the thing you need to do is to focus in on your capabilities. And I define capabilities into 3 parts. 1, what are your skills? And how are those skills synergistic or supplementary to something in sports? The second is knowledge, the what you know and the who you know, and how is that synergistic or supplementary to sports? And then finally, the key component of any successful entrepreneur, business person, student, teacher, etc., is the desire. You must have a desire that you must be what you can be. In other words, you're someone who's consistently, persistently pursuing their potential within the context of their own capabilities, within the context of the industry that their capabilities are synergistic or supplementary to. So if you are a teacher, are there jobs in sports? Yes. Are you a massage therapist? Are there jobs in sports? Yes. If you're a doctor, are there jobs in sports? Yes. If you create a knee brace, is there a job in sports? If you have a wristband, apparel, if you have skincare, eye care, nose hair cutters, is there a job? I have been around sports for so many years that if you told me what business you are in, I could tell you how your capabilities of your business, whether you're an accountant, a doctor, or a lawyer, you make socks, shoes, or shoelaces, earplugs, it wouldn't matter, any type of electronic device, I can tell you how to make it synergistic and supplementary to sports, and sometimes allow you to have a better experience in sports than the people that hold those dream jobs that you think about, the GMs and the managers and the players and the presidents of teams. Those are okay. But I will tell you that I have evolved into one of the best jobs in sports where I don't have to babysit athletes, but I get to go with the athletes to the greatest events: Super Bowl, Pro Bowl, Masters, Kentucky Derby, Breeders' Cup, ESPYs, Emmys, Oscars, Grammys, treated like the biggest Hall of Famer in the world. And while I'm doing that, I don't have to pay, right? I believe in activity you get paid for and activity you don't get paid for. I don't believe in work. And the way I'll prove that to you is, I'm a huge Padres fan, and I know people could laugh.
I saw you threw out the first pitch for the Padres.
Yeah, and one of the highlights of my life.
Strike? Was it a strike?
Yeah, knuckleball strike.
Knuckleball. I think you're the first one to throw out an honorary knuckleball. I like that.
I thought an honorary knuckleball, but I'm willing to pay the Padres $2 million to play second base for them. They pay their second baseman $2 million to play. Now, is that a job? Is that work? No, it's activity he gets paid for. And it's activity that I wouldn't get paid for, that I'm willing to to pay for. So I think if you can separate, no matter what your capabilities are, align those with the industry you want, but also decipher activity you get paid for from activity you don't get paid for. Don't think of things as work. It only creates interferences, void, shortages, and obstacles in what you're doing. It creates a true hardship on yourself that's just an illusion. Learn to love and find the light, love, and lessons in everything you do. I started practicing that by figuring out how I can love taking out the trash, because I hate taking out the trash. Now I love it.
I love that. I love that mindset. But like specifically like with a person who sells socks or earbuds, and you said to be synergistic with sports, do you think that would be like selling your products to professional sports teams, or like branding your product as like a sportswear product, or like, I guess
multiple ways. So take Stance is a sock company, or Happy Socks. So what they've done, number one, is they put a full NBA court in their facility. And they invite all kinds of athletes, not just basketball players, athletes and entertainers in to play on that court and take pictures. And then they offer customized socks to teams, leagues, organizations, athletes, celebrities, and entertainers. and they create license deals with those. And then they actually have a store with an NBA player, and they license out the stores. There's so many different ways they can put those stores and sell the socks in every stadium and arena. They can create deals to put their branding and signage and have hospitality in the arena. I myself, my podcast, The Playbook, is probably one of the top podcasts in the world.
Listen to it,
I have my new podcast studio is in the new stadium. My new office is in the new stadium. I was bummed they're not opening this year, but next year I'll be doing a lot of my podcasts right there looking over the field. And
that's really cool.
My podcast is for entrepreneurs, right? My podcast is The Playbook to Success, but it's done at the stadium. I'll have tons of different athletes on the podcast. And basically, I've integrated how my podcast can be synergistic or supplementary to sports. You can do that with anything you want to do.
Have you ever heard a better podcast in your entire life? Take that, Joe Rogan. Best podcast you've ever heard. Get more podcasts right here. And subscribe to the show too while you're at it. Thanks for watching. I really appreciate you. Honestly, I love you.